Hey everyone, welcome back to another day 2 for this summit. First day was absolutely amazing. The speakers did an amazing job. All of you were super active, so that was a good first day. Let's see what day 2 brings, and we are kicking it off with very different type of sessions, and that is 6 sessions, 10 minutes each, where speakers are going to share their power tactic for 10 minutes. And my very first speaker is Travis out of somewhere in north of Houston in a camp with 200 other men.
Yeah, Natalie, appreciate it. Yeah, guys, if there's any background noise, I apologize. We do a leadership retreat once a year out here. We got about 200 guys out here. I'm honored to be on here. Thanks for having me, Natalie.
All right, let's kick it off. And I'm going to start sharing your screen, my screen.
Yeah, so guys, just a little bit about me. I'm a business coach, entrepreneur, obviously. I focus very much on advancing the kingdom and using core values and those type of principles to impact culture. I have about 8 different businesses, but my forte is really coaching high-level entrepreneurs and business owners that are scaling, right? Sounds like we have a lot of people in this summit that are doing great things, are definitely a higher level than most. So I want to make sure what I bring to y'all is condensed and something you can take away and implement today, or at least use to evaluate where you might be in your scalability. So that's what I'm looking to achieve for you here. A big thing I like to focus on is analyzing businesses and asking business owners, CEOs, COOs, is your system, is it people dependent or system dependent, your business, right? So the difference of if I were to take 1 or 2 key people out of your business, does it still function as efficiently and effectively, or does it completely drop, right? So really moving from that small business owner mentality to a scalable, purchasable business, you need to have a templated out system that can run with or without you and with or without your highest level person, right? So obviously people with certain skill sets will accelerate that ability, but you don't want it to be completely dependent on that. So that's the first question I usually ask a lot of business owners and a lot of C-suites is if they, one, know of this, be surprised how many people don't. There's probably a lot of people here that do. But 2, if you are not system dependent, I will challenge you in this few minutes to think about how to transition to being more system dependent versus people dependent. It can be a quick and easy switch as long as you know what you're looking for. So now if you go on the next slide for me. So the concept that I teach off of is what's called modular team building. My background prior to business was law enforcement, military. I was a SWAT team leader, undercover detective, so on and so forth. So what I found worked well for me and translated into business was the concepts that the military and law enforcement taught me, which is building your teams modularly. So making sure everybody knows how to do the basics and then scale up from there, and not allowing your team to scale to a point where people fork off into too much niche environment that the team is dependent on that one person, right? So for example, in the Marine Corps, everybody's a rifleman before you're a sniper or you're a radio operator or anything like that. On a SWAT team, you may have 6 or 7 people on a stack. Everybody knows how to utilize those weapons effectively, breach a house, so on and so forth. But you may have somebody that's tasked with breaching the door, that's you're covered with a rifle, that's less lethal, that's hands and things of that nature, right? So building your team in that same fashion. Now, what I just gave were military and law enforcement tactics that's not necessarily going to translate directly to business. So to give you a business relatable version of that, I have a client who has several wellness clinics. They do body sculpting, they do IV infusions, they do cryotherapy, things like that. When I took on that client, they had a specialist for everything, right? So they had their one person that was the expert for body sculpting, one person that was really knowledgeable in IV infusions, and then a couple of people that kind of knew a little bit of everything, and one person that was just an expert on red light therapy, for example. What we found when I audited their business was if I were to take out that body sculpting person, their revenue would drop by 20 to 30% because nobody else on that team knew the high level information because they started to turn to that person for everything and really rely on that person. If you really sit back and look at your team, and you analyze them where they're at, if you were to remove one person, is everybody leaning on somebody or is that person really accelerating, right? It's the ready to follow, ready to lead concept. Can everybody pivot to somebody's passion and expertise in that area? Or is everybody just utilizing that person as a crutch to not have the knowledge and expertise themselves, right? As you get into modular team building and you get into building the basics, you'll find as you're developing leaders that some people will have passion in different areas. So like in this wellness clinic example, some people have passion for red light therapy, while others have passion for body sculpting. You can encourage that, empower that, and give them some ownership in that to develop and take more of the clients in that aspect. But you also want to empower them to turn around and teach the team everything they're learning, right? So it's a train the trainer concept, and it doesn't become a crutch for the team and this silo of knowledge. And a lot of times as high level producers, we just get in that rut of go, go, go and seeing everything move, high revenue, so on. You got me, Natalie?
Yes, we're back.
All right, cool. So I'll just pick up where I left off. Hopefully y'all heard most of it. But over time, you can very quickly realize that you're building a fragile foundation with one person taking that over. So lean on people's passions in different areas, but pivot them back to teach everybody else as they're learning. Don't just let them run off with the skill set. So from a duplication expectation, everybody wants to duplicate their systems and duplicate their people. Realize that, as high level performers, we can't duplicate ourselves from one person to another. The most realistic expectation I've seen is 3 people, 3 to 1, right? So span of control on that aspect is you can expect yourself to be able to duplicate into 3 people what you can do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be working for you, right? Let's just be honest. The same for your employees and staff that want more. As they start to go and take on more, they typically can be duplicated into 2 or 3 people of very entry level job type people, right? So that's the expectation I generally get entrepreneurs and CEOs to get their mind frame around, so that you are setting the right expectation. You don't set yourself up for failure thinking that there's a bad student when we're just not teaching them properly or we're expecting too much of them. So hopefully that makes sense. You can fire over, Natalie. So the biggest question to ask in retrospect is, are you scalable, right? If I were to come in your business right now or bring one of my VC partners or whatnot, if we took you out, does your business still operate, generate revenue the same way? Do you have a C-suite in place? It sounds like most of y'all do, but I don't want to assume that off the gate. If so, then if we take your general manager or your VP of operations, whatever that top position is for you, how scalable are you at that point? How much of what is getting done and executed is in SOPs, is in best practices, is in core values? Is all that written out? That's something my management team does with every client. The first thing we do is sit down, we nail out the message to the team from the CEO, what the core values are, how we're going to do things, how we hire, fire, how we judge everybody, and we go from there. So biggest question is just to, hopefully you got some nuggets from this. Really ask yourself, are you scalable or are you just performing at a high level? Appreciate y'all having me.
Travis, thank you so much. It was our
Yep,
pleasure.
absolutely.
I'll see you later.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good one.
And you too. All right, I'm going to stop presenting here. And our next speaker here is, and we're going to move very quickly. Hey, Mikkel.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hello, good morning. We can hear you. Yes. Our next guest speaker is Mikkel, and he's with a company called Expat Money. And he's going to talk about how highly paid info business owners can pay 0 taxes by living overseas. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here. I'm going to jump right in because I'm told I only have 10 minutes. So I'm going to try to go through this as fast as possible. So basically, I own a company called Expat Money. What I do is I help high net worth individuals move overseas. What I want to talk to you about today is for anybody who has an info business, any type of online business, coach, consultant, anything like this, how you can actually legally pay 0 taxes. Now, we're going to be speaking specifically about the Americans, but actually, I'll give a little caveat at the end if I have time for other nationalities, how you can do this as well. So, first thing to understand is that everything we're going to be discussing here today is completely legal. It's above board. I don't deal in the gray zone or the black zone or anything. everything you can find on the IRS website or government approved websites. Okay. But basically, what happens when you move overseas, there's a number of programs that are in place for Americans to legally reduce their taxes because Americans actually get taxed on their worldwide income, not just based on their residency, but also based on their citizenship. So, normally, as an American, when you live overseas, you would actually be subject to taxation anywhere in the world for anything you do. Now, inside of that, there are these programs. And the first one I want to talk to you about is called the Foreign Earned Income Exclusion, FEIE. And as I said, you can go and look this up on the IRS website. And basically, what it does is it allows you to exclude the first $120,000 of earned income from paying taxes. Now, there are some caveats with this. So, the first one is obviously we have to look at the name. It is earned income. Okay. So, if you have dividend distribution or capital gains or these types of things, this does not work. But for earned income, as I said, you're a coach, a consultant, you run your business, you have some type of online thing, you are considered earning your income. Okay. The second thing is that you actually have to live overseas. So this means not that you can be in international waters or you can be flying around the world or on a cruise or a jet setting around. Your feet physically have to be located in another country. So even if you are traveling and flying from New York to Paris or something like that, that day would not count. And for this one, we need you out of the country for 330 days for year one. It's called the physical presence test. Okay. The physical presence test. The After year one, what we do is we try to get you into a different qualifier, which is called the bona fide residency test. And it's a little bit different. The physical presence test is math, it's objective. 330 days you need to be in another country. The bona fide residency test is more subjective, you could say. So, what we're trying to do is actually show strong ties to the new country that you're in. Okay. So, this would be things like if you're religious and you go to church, then you would want to participate in the church or the synagogue or the mosque. If you are athletic, then maybe you have a gym membership where you like playing golf, you would have a membership to the country club or something like this. And then ties like if your kids are with you, your spouse is with you, if the kids go to school, a rental agreement or you own a property, all of these type of subjective ties that we try to use to build up a case. And what this allows you to do in year two and onwards is spend a little bit more time in the United States. So I can't tell you an exact amount because it's going to be dependent on your individual case. But so this will allow you to exclude the first 120,000 of earned income. Now, the nice thing or the added benefit to this is that if your spouse is also an American tax person, then there's a doubling effect. So now we're talking about just under a quarter of $1 million tax free from the US side. Okay. So that's from the federal level side. Now you might be saying, okay, well, what about from the state side? Well, there's 7 states that have no income tax at the state level. So what we would try to do is if you're located in California or New York or one of these really aggressive state tax places, we would first move you over to Florida or Texas or something like this. And then after we've switched over your registered to vote, your driver's license, all of these types of things, then we would move you overseas and you can apply for the federal tax. So we've taken care of your federal tax, we've taken care of your state tax. Now, what about the tax of the country that you're living in? You know, obviously, if you move to another country, most other countries have taxation. Well, I specialize in tax free countries. So, depending how you count, there's about 40, 42 countries that kind of qualify as a low tax or a zero tax jurisdiction. And these are affectionately referred to as the offshore market or the offshore countries. So, offshore basically means that it's outside of your home jurisdiction. It has favorable tax laws, it has strong asset protection laws, and it's politically stable. So, as I said, there's about 40, 42 countries that qualify for this. So obviously a zero tax country, that one's pretty easy. They have no tax authority. You go over there, you apply for the foreign earned income exclusion. You can reduce it by, if you and your spouse work, then you can reduce it by just under a quarter of $1 million. Now, there are some of these countries are like the Middle Eastern countries. I lived in Abu Dhabi. I lived in the UAE for 8 years. It was completely tax free while I lived there. There's other countries that are also tax free. But what happens if you don't want to live in the Middle East? You want to live in somewhere maybe a little bit more lush and maybe on Eastern Standard Time. Well, I'm located in Panama. I'm in Panama City, Panama right now. And Panama only taxes on locally sourced income. They don't tax on foreign sourced income. So this kind of circles all the way back to my original point of if you have an online business, okay? An online business, a coach, a consultant, you do virtual work, remote work, Amazon FBA, drop shipping, anything like this where your clients are not Panamanian, well, Panama is not going to tax you on any of this because it's called a territorial tax system. So they're only taxing you on locally sourced income. So if you move to Panama and you cut hair for a living, or you own a bar or a tienda or something like that, okay, you're going to pay tax on that. But if you have any type of online business, there's no taxation here. So actually, these two systems between the US, who cares only where you are and not where the money is made, and Panama cares only about where the money is made and not where you are, kind of fit together like hand and glove. And it's an amazing opportunity to come down here to Latin America. And there's a number of countries that actually follow these types of programs. But it's amazing when you come down here because you're getting lots of natural sunlight and vitamin D. You're eating naturally organic food because they don't have all the pesticides and everything to spray all over the crops. It's very family orientated. It's very, very safe. A huge banking sector, lots going on, lots of great restaurants, lots of great people. And now, when you are not paying taxes on your first $240,000, you can plow that money back into other things, into vacations or into your business or investments or whatever you want to do with your money and just get back to, living your life. I'm a happily married man. I've got 2 kids. My wife's a stay-at-home mom. My homeschool my kids. I've got 2 nannies. You know, life here in Panama is a lot better with all of these. So I hope that this is valuable to you. I only had 10 minutes, so I went as fast as possible. Usually I take an hour to kind of describe these things. But the basic process is that if you live in a country, in a state that has high taxation, we would move you first to a zero state tax. And then we would move you overseas and we would pick a country with a territorial tax system. And then we would apply for the foreign earned income exclusion. So if you guys want more information about any of these things, I encourage you to check us out at xmoney.com. We've got a podcast that we've been running for 7 years talking about these types of things. Lots of blog articles, summits, conferences, everything like that. Natalie, how did I do on time?
I think you were awesome, and everyone's now imagining being in Panama and not
Yes,
paying
it's
taxes.
gorgeous here. I love it
Definitely
very much.
check out everyone the website. Thank you so much, Mikkel. I look forward to chatting with you very soon.
Pleasure's all mine. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you. And our next guest speaker is Miss Ashley Cox. And I am inviting you to the stage, Ashley. Here you are.
There.
Good morning. And Ashley
Morning.
is with a company called SproutHR. And the topic is going to be cultivating a high performance team built on trust. The high performance team is definitely an underrated subject, so something to keep an eye on.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Natalie. I'm thrilled to be here with you and with the audience today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we will get started. Okay. Can you see that, Natalie?
We can.
Perfect. Wonderful. So, we're going to talk about how to cultivate a high performance team built on trust. And I want to start off with a quick statistic for you. So, did you know that nearly 1 in 3 employees don't trust their employer? At the same time, most employers overestimate their workforce's trust level by about 40%. With this misalignment in trust, it's no wonder that worker engagement and bottom lines are suffering. Stephen M. R. Covey said that without trust, we don't truly collaborate. We merely coordinate or at best cooperate. It is trust that transforms a group of people into a team. So if you're unsatisfied with the performance of your team and you're wanting to continue scaling your business beyond 7 or 8 figures, trust is at the core. Hi there, it's nice to meet you. My name is Ashley Cox. As Natalie mentioned, I'm founder and CEO of SproutHR, and we're a boutique HR consulting firm where we help you lead and hire profitable, sustainable, impactful teams with more confidence and ease. I personally have led teams of over 350 employees, as well as supported leaders in a variety of roles from small business owners to Fortune 25 companies. And I can attest that over the past nearly 2 decades I've been in business and been working with teams, that trust really is the foundation upon which everything else you do is built. So let's take a look at the business case for trust and put some numbers to this. Studies show that companies with high trust levels have more productive, profitable, and creative teams. You can see some stats here: 2.5 times higher performing revenue, 2.8 to 3.2 greater customer satisfaction ratings. We have lower turnover and absenteeism and higher productivity and engagement and energy within our teams. Trust leads to happier and healthier employees, which means they come to work, they do a great job, and they stay with companies longer. A more engaged and dynamic team also leads to happier customers who return time and time again, driving revenue growth. And when trust exists, leaders like yourself get to focus on more of those higher level tasks and projects that build the business rather than spending your time putting out fires and dealing with employee problems that slow momentum and hold you back. Developing trust with your team is good for your people, good for your profits, and it's good for you as the leader. But trust isn't just a one-way street. There are 3 key trust factors that all high performance teams have, which I like to refer to as the triangle of trust. And I chose a triangle because this is one of the strongest shapes that exist, and it's often used for the construction of buildings and bridges. Without one side of the triangle, the rest of it collapses. And I want you to think about your team and trust in the same way. Without one of these key trust factors, the whole thing collapses. So, next, we're going to review each of these 3 trust factors along with an actionable strategy that you can take away and implement today. So, trust factor number 1: leaders must trust their teams. Leaders who trust their teams build confident, competent, and collaborative teams. When leaders don't trust their teams, they micromanage their every move. They withhold information that may be important or necessary for them to do their best work. And they work on projects secretly, often with only 1 or 2 select team members. This ends up creating a work environment where people pull back, they don't trust you as the leader, and where further mistrust and distrust are bred between the leader and the team. So, our trust building strategy here is simply share the information that your team needs. Give them everything they need up front. No hoarding, no holding back. Unless something is truly, truly confidential, our team should be the safest place where we can share information that's going to help them help us. Also, set clear and consistent expectations: the who, what, when, where, why, and how that they need in order to do their best work. Establish check-ins and milestones. And to further build trust with your team, I recommend having a team member suggest when those check-ins and milestones should happen. And finally, there's a question here that I want you to ask, and it's written in a very specific way. What questions do you have? I specifically want you to ask your team this way because it indicates that you expect for them to have questions versus saying something like, "Do you have any questions?" which can shut down communication. And that you're open to sharing additional information. Perhaps you left something out or you forgot, or maybe you were 3 steps ahead of where they knew or needed to be. So this can really open up the lines of communication with your team. Because failing to share information is like blindfolding someone and asking them to hit the bullseye on a target that they've never seen. As leaders, it's our responsibility to help our teams see the target, what they're aiming for, what it looks like, where it's located, and how far away it is, what tools they have at their disposal to get the job done, and how long they have. Then we have to let go and demonstrate our trust in their ability to follow instructions and follow through. When we hold back information, though, we're communicating to our team that we don't trust them, which means in turn that they're not going to trust us either. Which leads me to our next key trust factor, and that is teams must trust their leaders. Teams who trust their leaders are present, productive, highly profitable. When teams don't trust their leaders, they're not likely to give you their best effort. They do the bare minimum to get by, and they're often looking for opportunities elsewhere. They're not bought into your vision or mission. They're not coming up with creative or innovative solutions to problems or better ways of doing business. And they may even be holding their best stuff back simply because they don't trust you with it. So, our trust building strategy here is to foster greater two-way communication. And to do this, we need to encourage and exemplify what open and honest conversation and dialogue looks and sounds like, which ties in with our first key trust factor that we just discussed. We also need to make sure that we're balancing results with the human factor, because sometimes life happens and we need to be able to adjust accordingly. We can offer support when mistakes are made, and rather than criticism, we can help them grow and learn from those mistakes. We can also engage the employee in creative problem solving to help identify next steps and opportunities for improvement moving forward. And for this strategy, I want you to ask, what thoughts or ideas do you have? I know it seems really simple, but a lot of times we get too into the weeds of business and we're moving too quickly that we forget to slow down and say, hey, what do you have to bring to the table? Give them time to think and respond. A lot of times people ask, well, what ideas do you have? And if somebody doesn't respond immediately, they're on to the next thing. So we have to give them time to respond. We need to give them an opportunity to share, and we need to respect people's ideas and perspectives by welcoming them and never shutting them down. Even if you don't think it's a good idea, you can still say something like, thanks so much for sharing that with me. I really appreciate it. And then make sure that when you do use a team member's idea, that you're giving credit where credit is due to further build trust in you and your intention. Now, trust factor 3 is that our team has to trust each other. Teams that trust each other are engaged, efficient, and highly effective. In this third area of trust, when team members don't trust each other, they may hoard information, struggle to get along, and slow the company down from making progress. Things may feel tense or too quiet. And when team members aren't communicating, it can lead to bigger challenges that can unravel quietly but quickly. So, our trust building strategy here is to cultivate creative collaboration, maintain clear roles and responsibilities. When there's no guessing who's supposed to be doing what, everyone gets more done and things don't fall through the cracks.
I am wondering if it's me or we lost your sound, Ashley. Not sure what happened. Still not able to hear you, Ashley, but you are almost there. You only have 1 minute left, but hey, thank you so much for taking the time to join us for the session. I really appreciate it. Everyone. Do check out Sprout HR, and I really hope, Ashley, that we'll get together for another session so that you can finish that. Really want to invite you to our podcast, so maybe that would be an option. I will, if you can share maybe the last slide, where can people learn a little bit of your company and connect with you? I don't know if you have like an email or something. That would really help. There you are, Ashley. Thank you so much. This has been such a pleasure having you here. And we have our next speaker, and this is Alina. Alina, I'm going to bring you to the stage.
Hello, Natalie. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes. Good morning. We can hear you. Awesome. And Alina is the head of digital marketing at a company called SendPulse. And SendPulse is a software company. And the topic of Alina's session is maximizing profits with marketing automation. Welcome, Alina.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And today I want to tell you more about omnichannel and about communication strategy for coaching business. First of all, I am a senior at SendPulse, and it's an all-in-one service where you can build, first of all, chatbots, email strategy, or you can build online course. If you have course, you can use online course platform, for example. And we focus on no-code service, and I mean that you can build everything what you want without any coding skills. We have more than 2 million clients B2B worldwide, and the most part of them is coaching business too. And today I want to share with you some statistic about messengers, and want to discuss about why it's important to communicate with your clients, with your potential clients, especially through messengers. We see that in the world, WhatsApp in the first place, first of all, then we see that Facebook in the third place, and etc. And every day, messengers changing. And for example, today I read the news that in Brazil today blocked Telegram, for example. And it can be, and messengers every day changing and rules changing. But if you build omni-channel marketing strategy and you can connect with your customers, with your potential clients through different channels, it's a key of success. And why messenger marketing and how you can build it and how you can use these channels for a great and productive communication with your clients. Almost every person has a messenger. It can be Facebook Messenger, it can be WhatsApp, Instagram Direct, Telegram, etc. It depends on, first of all, location. It depends on what activity and what company, for example, it can be. For example, my experience that many people from B2B company, it can be, they use Facebook Messenger first of all and WhatsApp if we speak about some locations. But in Europe, for example, we use Telegram and it's a really common case. And it depends on what audience you want to target. You have a strong potential to build convenient and fast communication in messengers. We see from our statistics that many clients can send an answer for your questions in Messenger so fast. And it's faster than we see in email because with email marketing, we work too. Communication in messengers is faster and the purchase decision time is often shorter than in email too, for example. And you can see many companies this year include a paid system and paid processes in Messenger. And for example, right now you can use only Messenger, make 2 or 3 clicks and make a purchase. And it's more convenient that you can go on the website or you can open email, then you can go on the website and then make a purchase. And it's more quickly, it's convenient, and customer really like it. No more and more companies are building support and send important information in messengers, and people prefer this channel for communication, first of all. It can be a free channel for every business, and if you want to test something and start, for example, you can use Telegram, Facebook Messenger, and Instagram Direct channel, and it can be free for start. But if we speak about WhatsApp, it's a paid channel, but really effective channel. And right now it's a channel where we can see in statistics that it's in the top of amount of user. Build a chain in Messenger with white paper for coaches with relevant content. It's a common case which use our clients. And for example, it can be effective habits that you can grow, or for example, white paper about hacks to resolve your issue depends on some activity, some topic. And you must understand what are important questions your client will read and create this white paper. And after this, you can boost it in social media and create a chain with advertisement and chatbot, for example. Build a chain with a calendar where your potential clients can choose a free slot and book a meeting through Messenger. And from our experience, we see that PPC traffic, for example, and targeted advertisement campaigns for the website cost really more than traffic from Facebook ads and chatbots, and then your customer or your visitors can go on website. If you want to test it, you can create a chain with targeting advertisement and chatbot. For example, your client can click on the send message, and then you can start communication in Messenger where you have and which it will be the most effective for your customer, for your targeted audience. It can be looks like here. And if you use this QR code, you can, for example, see how you can connect your first messenger channel, your chatbot with targeting advertisement campaign. And we see right now that this is really a key of success. And right now, this chain has a good price for business in activity coach. For example, we use it like quiz, and you can see this quiz in WhatsApp where you can have some questions first of all, and after this we can learn more about which skill you can improve and what profession you can get. And after this, we close it to meet with coach, with consultant, and after this you can see how it works. For example, it can be looks like here, and you can choose some options. And after this, chatbot can help you and can explain some moments about what you want, how you can resolve your issue, and etc. And when you see that this conversation is okay, and you can connect with manager, with sales manager, with your support team, for example, and after this, close this deal. What you can do for a start and some important points for this quick speech. Without proper communication, we won't get customers. Without convenient communication, we won't get customer and build an omnichannel communications with a context. I mean that sometimes you can hear a term omnichannel and multi-channel. Omnichannel, we mean that if your customers want to pursue some channels, for example, switch from WhatsApp to Telegram, etc., you must understand that you don't lose a context, and it's really, really important. For example, people don't pursue a coach or company who lose context, and we need to repeat our questions, our issue, or maybe our request again and again. If your customer wants to switch for another conversation and for another channel, you must understand context and save all history. For this, you can use CRM, and for example, it can be all in one service, and you understand context for everyone. And of course, people don't pursue a coach or company who can't build a convenient communication. If you will choose some channel where your customers or your potential customers don't use at all, it's not a good case. Thank you so much. If you will have some questions about omnichannel, about chatbots, about how we can build communication in messengers, I would like to share my knowledge, and you can see my contact here. Thank you.
Alina, thank you so much. Everyone, do check SendPulse and connect with Alina if you have questions about messengers and chatbot. Alina, thank you. And our next speaker is, and I'm going to bring you on stage, John Lonergan. Hey, John. And John is with a company called Propelr. And John is going to talk about the topic very dear to our hearts, and that is payment.
Yes, I'm here. And so give me 1 second to share my screen. All right. Okay, we're all set. So let me just take 1 second. I'll introduce myself. My name is John Lonergan. I'm an entrepreneur. I've founded several companies, including one that's currently franchising nationwide. I've been a C-suite executive for over 15 years, and so I know the value of coaching. It's really important. Everyone needs it, including C-suite executives. We all need coaching. So the founders of Propelr helped my business actually grow exponentially. And when given the opportunity to be a part of this and to be a part of Propelr, absolutely jumped at the chance because it is so helpful to have somebody in your corner when it comes to collecting payments. So Propelr and DepositFix have now entered into a partnership to create a seamless next level payment processing experience for your business. This is an exciting new partnership with some very exciting possibilities coming soon. So who we are, and we're going to go over who our partners are, our key values, and what your merchant experience is going to be as a part of the DepositFix Propelr partnership. So who are we? We're an innovative payment provider for a modern sales environment. And so what does that mean? Well, the founders of Propelr have come from some of the largest, most successful payments companies in the world, but they still felt that more could be done. So Propelr has tried to take and understand a disjointed industry and bring it together to bring the very best technological resources to create a seamless payments experience. But also the one thing that really sets us apart is our focus on building amazing relationships and our dedicated customer support. Very rarely do you have a payments provider where you can pick up the phone and get a hold of someone immediately, whether it's through support or me or anyone you need to help you, whether it be through sales or onboarding, anything you need help with, you can talk to a real person. And that is something completely unique. So why Propelr? As DepositFix dedicated partner, you can leverage our experience and expertise to collect customer payments through our integrations. Because when you win, we win. Our payment solutions ensure you can process transactions simply and securely. And we have absolutely the best in class technology. And we are a dedicated partner with DepositFix. We work with both DepositFix and you, the merchant, to get the most out of your payments experience. So you can leverage us as much as DepositFix. So the difference, it truly is the ability to talk to a real person, whether it be an issue on a Sunday night, you're having trouble processing payments, or you just want to get more and learn more about the payment processing systems. So we partner with the absolute best companies in the industry. So many of the partners that have come together to form Propelr came from and helped build the companies you see on your screen. Fiserv is one of the biggest payments companies in the world. And at one point, I think they were processing over 40% of all the payments in the world. So all of these partners came together. And what this does is it gives us such an unbelievable advantage because our partners have such amazing relationships with these companies that you're getting the very best in the industry, which is just absolutely amazing. So the Propelr difference, we have an unrivaled product suite. We've been able to really pull together all of the best technology across the world and bring it into one place so that everyone has access to like the CardPoint platform. We have unbelievable fraud prevention, simplified compliance. We will walk you through every single step of the way to make sure you're PCI compliant, simple configurations, and our team of experts really are available 24/7 to resolve any issues, questions, letting you get back to your business. Again, it's so nice to be able to pick up the phone and actually talk to someone who's going to jump on your issue and get it solved immediately. So the merchant experience. The goal for us is to truly add value to your merchant experience with DepositFix. Get more revenue and get paid faster. Our industry low rates and modern tech really keep you in the game and help you get your money faster. Better tools, better capabilities than what's out there. Enjoy a seamless user experience. Starting with our digital application, it's really simple. It's really easy. It just takes a couple of minutes. And then one of the key things that people love is next day funding. Get your money faster. And especially with our later batch closes, where if you are taking revenue at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, that's going to batch out and it's going to be in your account the next day. So security. This is a huge topic. And one of the things that CardPoint and Card Connect and our partners with DepositFix do really well is something called tokenization, which allows for easier integrations and better point-to-point encryption. Reporting. You're going to get incredibly robust reporting where you can see your dashboard, but you can drill down into every transaction, do your voice, do your cancels. Everything you need to do is going to be a part of that integration. So easy agreements. We have no contracts, no termination fees, plus lower rates and better experience. Just makes for a much better merchant experience for you, the end merchant, and partnered with DepositFix. So our support, this is, again, I'm really going to harp on the support because it truly is second to none. Our dedicated resources are available 24/7. We have agents. We have people that like me who, if you need something, we will make sure that we can troubleshoot that immediately. It's at your fingertips. You can submit support tickets or you can give someone a call. You have a bunch of different ways to get support. And the biggest thing is that noted on the PCI, we really make sure that you're PCI compliant. And that way, as you accept credit cards and you accept payments, that is really critical. We help you with everything. And that's really, I think, the key to note. If you need something, you can give me a call. That is really, truly unique. And so thank you for today. It was really a pleasure getting on and I'm super excited about the future. So if you need anything or want to talk more about payments and about how to lower your fees and how to get to a better place and get paid faster, this is my information. Please reach out anytime.
John, thank you so much. This was absolutely amazing to hear from our partner. This was our pleasure, and I look forward to chatting again soon.
Thank you.
And I'm going to bring our next guest, and that is Denis. Another session talking about payments. Denis. And Denis is the CEO of a company organizing this summit, and we are going to continue talking about payments.
Payments. Yeah, payments again. Yeah, as John just presented, we're super excited to have this partnership. And just to pin back to the previous conversation that we had yesterday about different risks related to payment gateways. With this partnership, we're actually trying to eliminate those risks and create that future for our merchant and our clients where it's going to be much, much easier to accept payments globally and defraud and make sure that everything is secure. Today, I'm going to talk about some financial projections. So your accounting system or payment system, most likely they're going to show you the past. Which is going to be just a list of transactions that happened, let's say, week, month, or year ago. But often you need to know what revenue you can expect in the future. And especially in cases when you already sold a product, but receiving the payments over time. So for example, you have a subscription or a membership, which is paid monthly or annually. So you expect those money every month or every year, or you sell products or services in payment plans. So it's when you have a big amount payable in chunks. So let's say you have a 5,000 product that is payable by $500 every month in terms of 10 months. So then total you have the $5,000. And for that kind of thing, we created a revenue dashboard inside DepositFix. So you can see all of that together. However, we understand that not all companies are going to use DepositFix or Propelr, but for that, we created just a simple spreadsheet. So you can use any other platform and just dump the data to that spreadsheet. And then you can still try to see the expected revenue. And this spreadsheet and this report is not to predict the sales, but predict the payments for products or services that you already sold, but didn't get the full payments yet. So I'm going to share my screen and show you how to use that. So this is just Google spreadsheet, and it will be available publicly to depositfix.com/cashflow. You can copy that and use it for your own business. So what we have here is just a list of orders that happened in the past. So this is year 2022. This is just simple data just to show you how it works. So what we have here is the date when order happened. Then we have the interval, how often this payment is going to happen. In our case, we have every month or every year, amount, obviously how much is going to be charged, and then max charges. So this indicates how many times you're actually going to charge a specific person. So if it's empty, it means it's just infinite subscription. So in this case, it just goes every month, no cancellation date. It just goes till eternity. And
Dennis,
then,
can you zoom in a little bit?
okay,
We can barely see it.
I'm going to increase.
There you go. Much better.
Is it better? Cool. So yeah, just to go again. So here we have the first column, where the date when the order happened. The second one is interval, monthly or annually, how often the payment is going to happen, amount, and max charges. In this case, for example, there are 6 payments every month for $99. And this is how you indicate the payment plans. So step number 1, you just dump in your data from your payment processor or payment system in here in the first page. Make sure that you have max charges and everything in line. And then on the second page, it creates the forecast for expected revenue. Again, just trying to highlight that it's not to predict the sales. There is no AI or any technology that predicts the sales. It just predicts expected revenue from sales that you already had in the past. So here we can see the revenue for 2023, 2024 for every month. And also with this projection, we expect that there's going to be no cancellations and you're just going to get the amount for monthly payments every time. And here, for example, we can see a big jump in June 2023. And let's see why actually we have that. So just you can understand how that projection works. So let's get back to the input data and navigate to June. Here we go. June 4th, 2022. Okay, so we have a big contract here for $10,000. It goes every year, so it's payable once a year in June, and it goes it's up to just 2 times. So we're gonna be paid in 2022 and 2023. And as you can see here, we have that expected revenue big jump in 2023 June, but not in 2024 because the contract had already expired. Also, we have a bunch of monthly payments. These are also payment plans that are going every month for 8, 6, or 10 months. That's why we can see in the beginning of the year, we have these spikes until those payments are cleared. And then it drops down. So basically our monthly revenue is $2,479. So this is based on the monthly payments. And sometimes we have these spikes. And I guess these spikes are based on annual contracts. So July and October, I think we're gonna have yearly contracts. Yes, July and October. Yeah, these are 2 big annual contracts. So with this spreadsheet, you can do a projection of expected revenue and see when you're going to be paid for the products that you already sold. And obviously, to make it work, you need to import the data all the time, format it, and put it here. You can do that, but if you want everything to be automated and everything to be created for you automatically, then we'll have that at DepositFix. So you will have this kind of revenue dashboard right in the reports. And then the same thing, you can see all of that. You will see order value, how much you can expect every time, how much cash you already received, and how much is projected in the future. And again, you can check that spreadsheet at depositfix.com/cashflow. It's going to be seated in there, and you'll be able to do your projections for the year and a half and multiple years.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Denis. Anything else to add there?
No, if there are any questions, I can answer those since we have a couple of minutes left.
Let's see if anyone wants to ask their question, feel free to raise your hand and we'll add you to the stage. Looks like no questions. Denis, thank you so much today. I'll see you in the evening in the next room upstairs.
Yes. All right.
Everyone will see you in the next
Thank
session.